part of section 1.5. Still focusing on the measuring, not so much constructing of angles. So, yesterday we kind of went through and talked about the measurement of angles and about their classifications, acute, obtuse, right, and straight, and we talked about using a protractor. Those are the main things that we worked with, other than just naming our angles. Today, we're bringing in some math that you can do with angles. Specifically, the angle addition postulate. The angle addition postulate starts off with having an angle and having a point interior to it. So, really this angle addition postulate initially points out this angle and the fact that there's a point in between. And if there's that point in between, then you can end up drawing a ray that goes through that point from the vertex of the angle, essentially dividing a big angle into two smaller angles right next to one another. And if you do that, the two smaller angles added together is going to add up to the measurement of the big angle. This is the angle version of part plus part equals whole, is that angle addition postulate, or angle ad post for short. So in these ones, we're getting into some of our math. And it'll say, find the indicated measure. And this first one wants us to find the measure of angle MKN. Now I'm going to remind you, you cannot use a protractor to actually do this unless it says use a protractor. So we're looking for the measure of angle MKN. Now MKN, K is the vertex, sides go towards M and towards N. So it's the angle marked with the 4x minus 3 is what I'm looking for. But I want it just as a plain number, not as an expression with variables involved. Now, I know this is 4x minus 3. I know this one is 2x plus 10. And they also tell me angle LKN. K is its vertex. L goes that way. N goes that way. So it's going the angle that goes all the way from there to there. It's 145 degrees. According to angle addition postulate, the small angle plus the small angle next to it can add together to make the full angle that they create. The first small angle was the 2x plus 10. Now, do you notice that there's parentheses here? Do you notice that the only thing outside of the parentheses is a degree symbol, though? When that is the case, the only reason the parentheses are there is for the degree. So when you write them in the equation, you don't need them anymore. You only need parentheses to actually be written down in your equations if there was a number going with those parentheses outside of them. That's not the case here. Little angle plus little angle, 4x minus 3, is equal to the big angle, 145. That's what our postulate tells us we can do. Once our postulates tell us we can do that, we get this equation. Do y'all know how to solve equations like this? Yeah. Combine like terms. What is 2x plus 4x? 6x. They're on the same side of the equal sign, so I do what they say. I've got a positive 10 and a negative 3 on the same side as well. Plus 7. Add them together, get 145, because that's what the other side is equal to. Do I move the 6 or the 7 next?
The 7.
Do I add or subtract or multiply or divide?
Subtract.
6x equals 138. Then we divide by 6. 23? Is that what we were looking to solve? Since that's not what we were looking to solve, we're not done. I have to plug it back in. Do I plug it into the 2x plus 10 or the 4x minus 3? 4x minus 3, because I wanted the measure of angle MKN, and we talked earlier that it's this one. 4 times 23 minus 3. Do I do the subtraction or the times first when I'm simplifying? Times. I'm following PEMDAS at this point. 4 times 23, 92. Minus 3, 89. Measure of angle MKN is equal to 89. And it's an angle, so it's got the unit of degrees. Find the measure of angle SRQ, or sorry, SRD. If SRQ is 175, SRD is x plus 30, and DRQ is x plus 155. One of the biggest things that I see people make a mistake on is they assume that the order of these angles, in other words, the 175 followed by the x plus 30 followed by the x minus plus 55, they assume that means something. The order I give them to you in means nothing, so make sure. I highly recommend you mark your picture. I was first given SRQ. Is that the angle on the left? Is that the angle on the right? Or is that the big one? The big one. SRD is x plus 30. Is that the left one or the right one? Left. DRQ is this one. When I write my equation, which two angles am I adding together? X plus 30 and? X plus 155. Two smaller ones add together to make the big one. Okay. Some of y'all's names trying to not come out. That's not fair. Kelby, when I combine like terms, what's it going to look like? Beautiful. Can't call him someone who's not here. Max, if I want to solve this, what am I going to do right now? Subtract the 185 from both sides. X equals 175 minus 185. Negative 10. Landon, to finish solving, what do I do? Landon. Naomi, to finish solving, what do I do? Divide both sides by 2. X is? Negative 5. Am I done solving? No. I need to plug it back in. Kai, which one am I plugging it back into? SRD, so X plus 30 is now negative 5 plus 30. What's negative 5 plus 30? 25 degrees. Try out question C on your own. That way it's on the video. think you used to have to get little was little was big. There's two little ones. Yeah. Which two ones are we supposed to have together? Which two angles are we supposed to have together?
We should get a negative for angle measurement.
Yep.
Here, because this was
Being-
also a negative,
Being awake is not
and
optional.
that's a negative, you would have gotten
Gotcha.
a positive, and then when you put it in there, you'll get a positive.
It's like usually you take the second number first.
Can you see?
Yes.
Good so far, you're just not done. You gotta plug it back in. So you mix the fucking this is my mathematics first. The 18x minus 2 is not right. That's 18x minus 2 is GCD. It's the big one. The big one is the 18x minus 2. I see that one. Beautiful. Got it. Everything you can see. Here's my CD. BCD. Big one. Which two do you like to write? See that two right there? Right, that's it. I have no idea how it is. equals, big, what's the big one?
79. So basically equals 79.
Okay, combine our like terms. So you look at these two are the only like terms. Negative 3 plus 82 is positive 79. And our solve. How? I agree, yes. Yes, it's on opposite sides. Now what? Yes. It's this way with that. 81 equals 9x, and we would. Good. Now, we're looking for BCD, which one do we plug back into? BCD is that.
You wanted to try working with
18
angle.
minus 9 minus 2. And that's what a calculator's for. Just type that entire thing into the calculator. What do we get?
79.
160.
160.
Didn't put my calculator. Oh, that's 9.
Here,
Okay,
we did this one. It should have been this one.
now,
Good math.
when you have this, sometimes they're not going to give you the picture. Okay. Sometimes they don't give you the picture, you got to draw the picture. T is in the interior of HIJ. So what you're going to do is you're going to draw yourself an angle. What's the name of said angle? HIJ.
Close.
If it's HIJ, I have to have a point on each ray. I have to have a point here. Which one goes here? I. Because that's the vertex of HIJ. These ones could be H and J, I don't care which one's which. Now it says T is in the interior. Means T's got to be like here-ish. In which I can draw the ray through it. From there, I do everything the exact same. Angle HIT is this one. Is 18x minus 1. Angle HIJ is the big one. Is the 177. And TIJ is this one, is 8x minus 4. When you are solving, it's the little one plus the other little one to make the big one. I don't care which one is a plain number. I don't care which ones have x's involved. It's always little plus little makes big. Which two are the little ones? 18x minus 1 and the 8x minus 4. Do y'all trust my solving skills? X is 7. Which one would I plug back into? TIJ, which is? 8x minus 4. So 8 times 7 minus 4. The measure of angle TIJ is equal to 52 degrees. Final problem is going to look a little different, but it's really the same idea. B is in the interior of angle IJK. When I'm drawing pictures, generally I try to draw the biggest item first. An angle is bigger than a point, so I start with drawing an angle. When I draw an angle, I make sure that I put points where they belong. At least one point goes on each ray, and then the vertex itself, because it's the intersection of rays, you don't actually have to draw the point there if you don't want to, but you can. Which letter goes on the vertex? J. I and K go on the other two. B is somewhere in the interior, so it's between those two rays. And I draw a ray to it so that I can see all my angles. Angle IJK was 172 degrees. Is IJK this little one, or the big one? The big one. IJB is 78. First little one or second little one? First little one. I'm looking for the measure of angle BJK. I'm looking for this. Steven?
Can we just subtract the 172 by 78?
Can we just subtract 172 minus 78 to get that one? You can. If that didn't make sense to you. And for some people it doesn't. For some people are like, wait, I need to write the equation. You can. In situations like this problem, where everything is numbers, except for the thing you're looking for, you can introduce variables to the problem if it makes it easier for you. Variables you put in places of things you don't know. If you wanted, you could put an x right here. And then when you did little plus little equals big, it would be 78 plus x is equal to 172. But to solve that, wouldn't we do exactly what Stephen said we could do? Yeah. X would be equal to my brain shut down. I think it's 94. Yeah. The only thing you have to do when you do that, though, is change it back off of x. It was never called x. It was called BJK. And don't forget the little m in front of it, because I'm talking about its measurement. If I don't put the m in front of it, I'm saying its name. And if I say an angle's name is 94, it's like saying your name is 16 because you're 16 years old.
Okay.
No, it's not how it works. So, that is angle addition postulate. One 1.3 worksheet. That one's due today. Make sure we're getting that turned in. Otherwise, we did 1.5 day 2 today. Today is the 13th. Our homework's due on Tuesday. Tuesday is the 17th. We only have one day of notes left in this chapter. We are almost done. The only thing we haven't done is like the last page. I think it's back and front page, but we are almost done with chapter 1. So just as a heads up, the test is coming up. That's important because the last day to turn in late work for the chapter, test day. So make sure we're getting on top of things. If you are not already, making sure you're getting stuff turned in.